Yo, guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over about Ark Survival Ascended. And there's some really awesome news and some really quite crappy news, in all honesty. They did like one of those poop sandwiches, if you want to think of it that way. Hey, here's some new content. Here's a new idea, but we're pushing something back again. I'm going to walk you through this information, just a bunch of really interesting news in the newest community crunch that just released 4.3.2, which includes stuff about Fear Ascended, Extra Life, UE 5.4, and more. And I'll kind of walk you through all of it, but let's go ahead and get started. So anyways, obviously you can see they kind of talk about everything that I just talked about right there, but the big thing is the upfront thing. This is the Fear Ascended. If you haven't seen Fear Ascended, it's a ton of fun. There are literally custom special creatures that you can get that are above level cap. That means the zombie wyverns. There are a fire, poison, and a lightning zombie wyvern. They are pretty freaking cool. It looks like they're adding a special plant species X in this one. Not really sure what it's going to do. To me, it looks like it's going to be just a skin, but it's also possible because they didn't put it underneath the skins. I'll walk you through that in just a second what I think about that. So I think this might be a brand new turret they're adding in. And then obviously your normal plant species, it will be different, but you've got the dino like skins for most of the creatures that are going to remain in the game, and a bunch of really neat stuff that they're going to add. Obviously, you can see it right here. Club Ark is going to get some additions. You're going to see skins, emotes, chibis, and tameable creatures will haunt the Club Ark as rewards. My thought process is they're probably going to have some sort of like wyverns, some of the zombie wyverns inside of the actual Club Ark, which would be super cool. I think that would be an awesome thing because I think the idea of Club Ark is really cool. I just wish they would give it some more TLC because it's really cool for like a day, but the long-term playability of Club Ark isn't super useful just because it can be, I don't know, it's a grind and it's a loot box system. So a lot of times it's not super great. But anyways, you can see you can earn a tameable creature through the Club Ark events. My thought again is going to be the zombie wyverns, which is going to be super cool. I hope they do that. It will come sealed in a cryopod and unleashed upon your server. Again, I still think it's going to be a zombie wyvern and it's going to look like that up there. But anyways, event dino colors are going to bleed through the official servers for ghostly touches. That's again really cool. And the event dates is pretty cool. It's going to go for 2 weeks this time, which is neat. Sometimes they only do it for a week, but 2 weeks, and they usually extend it a week because I think they're just too lazy to cancel it sometimes. So reasonably speaking, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks that this thing comes out for. You can see that real quick. And you can see summon Fear Ascended creatures through commands or spawners if you dare. So that means that obviously that these creatures right here, the event creatures of the zombie fire wyvern, lightning wyvern, and poison wyvern, those are all going to be tameable through Club Ark would be my guess. It's possible that you'll be able to get a Zomdodo through Club Ark, and Zomdodos are basically just dodos that literally explode. If you haven't seen them before, they're kind of hilarious. They used to make them really overpowered, but now they've kind of nerfed them back a little bit, but that's just some of the things. But anyways, let's get into what they're actually adding. Obviously, you're going to have the increased rates across the board, 5x, 4.5x, and 2x, which is pretty nice. And then those 4 event creatures that I was talking about, they've always existed in the past. I got a feeling that you're only going to be able to get the zombie wyverns inside of Club Ark, so definitely going to utilize that, which I hope that's really cool. We'll see how it actually goes, but I think it's going to be pretty neat. So event creature skins, you can obviously, these are all the skins. They are all ones that have existed in the past. These are all like the ghost skins. If you haven't seen those, they have like this eerie blue glow to them. And then the skeletal skins, those are pretty cool because they're just like a bone set. So they look like an arc. They used to call it like the archaeological event or whatever it was, but yeah, kind of cool. Those skins, how they got added in. The ghost ones are really cool. The witch hat's pretty neat. The pumpkin helmet skin, I think that was last year that got added in. New skins, event skins, obviously. So these are permanent ones, by the way, event creature skins. But these ones right here. So this is the cleaver, the sword, which is going to be kind of cool. The crowbar will be interesting. I like when you see stuff like that because it's just a little bit of a touch that you have all these things and someone sees your kit. They're kind of just like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. You saw the werewolf costume up here, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm iffy on costumes because it hides so much, and with the ability to use mods as your costume anyways, is there really a value to having a skin? Not really. The arrowhead hat will be funny where you have an arrow going through your head. Same thing with the axe head and sword head hat. I assume that's what they look like. And then they bring back all of the old skins. Now, if you haven't seen any of these, some of them are really cool. Some of them not so much. The Rex Ghost costume will be really cool. The Reaper costumes are typically pretty cool. I like those a lot, and that's kind of those in general. But you can see Zom Dodo, Prince Cern, and then the Zom Wyvern shirts are pretty cool. And then this is where it gets interesting. Event items. Now I want to be very specific here. Item, right? Horror Species X. So that is a new item. Is that a thing that is going to be, and this is what it looks like, by the way. It's clearly going to be that. The question is that going to be a permanent item, or is it going to be a temporary item? Because that looks super cool. It looks like it's going to be some sort of like close range events plant species. If they add another turret, I think they should, by the way. The more turrets you can add to this game to give base defense an actual chance against some of the dinos that exist nowadays. For those of you like, what are you even talking about, Teach? It's so hard to raid. I don't know if you guys know this, but on official servers, most of the soaking dinos are above 200 points at birth and health, which means that your stegos are getting like 400,000 to 500,000 health when they're fully leveled. Plus imprinting, plus a saddle. Like, you can soak an entire base with just like a couple of stegos. It's crazy. And even the Carbonemus, which have like 200 points in health, they're having like, my guess would be like 200, 300,000 health. And with a good saddle and a carbo, you can soak almost an entire base with only like 60 points into health. So yeah, that's why you need new plant species. So I'm hoping this Horror Species X is something that's to stay, but we'll see. Their pumpkins have existed in the past, so have scarecrows, so have the stolen headstones, which is cool. The dino candy corn are neat because they increase your creature speed, which is very useful, especially the ascendant ones, because they have different tiers to them. They will increase not only your creature speed, but make the colors of your creature very vastly different as well. And then the chibis, it's the same chibis they've always had, the ghost and skeletal chibis, as well as the spooky bulldog. Now, emotes, the howl and sniff are new. Evil, panic, and scare I used a lot because I don't know why the Halloween ones seem like really entertaining. They just are. They, I don't know, I like them. They're fun. And then they're not my favorite color sets for the dino colors for Halloween. But I mean, if any on this list make you happy, then there you go. Green is pretty cool. I don't think I've seen green as the dino color set for Halloween, so that's neat. Like the 03 green is like a lime green. It's super cool looking. Now, anyway, some more of the good news, right? Extra Life. It's a really cool thing. One of my buddies, Ross Clark, is going to be inside of it. He's apparently getting flown out there to Seattle to do their 24-hour stream, which is cool. They end up releasing some news usually every year about Ark 2. Now, will they just be news that lets us down again? Realistically, probably, if you want me to be completely honest, because realistically, they're going to release all of this stuff, and then once they release all of it, we're not going to be able to do anything with it, because, I mean, they just pushed a bunch of stuff back till 2025 anyways, and if they're pushing that stuff back, they're definitely not keeping Ark 2 in any sort of a chance in 2024. My guess is at the earliest, late 2025, more realistically 2026, maybe later. So if it ever comes out at this point, but that sucks, but it is what it is. You can see reveals about upcoming Ark content, Ark's Extinction, Tales 3. They say nothing about anything related to Ark 2. So that sucks. Yeah. But they do mention that you're going to see some stuff about Extinction and Bob's Tales Start 3. To be fair, I really have liked what they've done with the Bob's Tall Tales mod add-in, or the Survivor Pack, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a really good addition, and I think the more stuff you can add to this game, the more crazy things you can add, the better it becomes, because it changes the meta every time you add something new. Now, obviously, you can see the Ark Ultimate Mobile Edition, which is going to be interesting. I don't play the Ark mobile game, but I know some people that do. I'm not a fan of it because I need my breaks, but, it is what it is. And then you can see the Ark the Animated Series Part 2. Was it okay? It was okay. It was mid-tier. I felt like the animation was okay. The story wasn't my favorite, the Part 1. I know some people loved it, but I'm just not the biggest fan. I love anime. And I don't know. I think that it could have used a lot of a better story. It kind of just drops you right in and doesn't give you a good starting anything, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. All right. So anyways, you can see this is the November 2nd will be their Discord and then Twitch stream that they'll do for this, which is a great event, by the way. This is an amazing event, Extra Life. I really hope that anyone, if they can, donate a little. If you have a little bit to spare, I will probably donate like I always do. It's fun. I usually do it under not my name though, because I always hate when people feel the need to have their name shown when they donate. I don't like that. If you're going to donate something, donate it and just let it go. Like, let it be a gift, not just something to get recognition. So But yeah, it's an awesome thing. They donate to children in need, and I think that's just so cool that they do something like that. And it's been every single year. Ark people have been amazing with it. Usually they get into the higher tiers, a couple of $100,000, which is super cool. And obviously the rates kind of just go bonkers. You can see 100x if they hit 300,000, which would be, I think that's a record, but we'll see. I don't know if we'll get there. Now here's the bad news, right? They hit you with all this really cool stuff that they're adding in, and then they hit you with the crap, right? This is the live ops update. Now, Aberration server transfers, obviously we all know those are activating here on November 8th. Yeah, and this is not good. So this is the Unreal Engine 5.4, which they've pushed back again. Now, they're not releasing it until at the earliest Q1 2025. Now, this is the update that many people have been waiting to purchase Ark Survival Ascended for, because this is the update that's supposed to make it easier for your graphics card to run. It's supposed to make everything both from the server side and the client side, so your computer, better, I guess, more capable of running Ark Survival Ascended, because it's a very beefy game and Unreal 5 is hard to run. So when they added this, it literally was like a dream for some people, because they couldn't run Ark Survival Ascended on their current cards. So they said, okay, this is what we're working on. It's going to be 5.4. It's going to make everything easier. Everything's going to work better. And then they go to tell you about a cake, right? I don't really care about your cake. Tell me why you're pushing it back. Most people that play Ark have a pretty good idea about what's going on. So basically what they've said is they've branched the code database, they've completed the actual upgrade, and now they're actually going through and actually making sure the thing works as expected. And this doesn't just include the old things that are essential to developing Ark and custom built, but also making sure the new improvements are functioning as expected within the custom database, which is a good thing. A lot of times I feel like they push things out too early, because everyone's like, hey, push it out, push it out, push it out. And then they push out something and everyone's like, wow, this sucks. You guys didn't think this through. And then they're kind of just like, well, you guys told us to push it out and you'd be okay with us just fixing it. And then we get pissed. It's a bad cycle. So it's like, I understand both sides of it. It kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, yeah, they want to move into their new cake factory, apparently testing all this stuff. And I don't like that they're using the cake comparison, but you know, whatever it is, but I'm okay with a lengthy process as long as they push out something that doesn't break it again. I don't know if you guys were playing when Ark Survival Ascended got released. It was bad. Like I was crashing every 10 seconds. Servers were crashing, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. They also give some other bad stuff here. So sunsetting servers that are inactive. But I think what people are frustrated about is the servers that are inactive are typically controlled by 1 or 2 groups of people that really try hard to control those servers, and that's why no one plays on them. So that's something that's interesting. And yeah, that's some very upset people I know that are having to move off their servers. And then obviously this is a cool one, the expire servers reminder. I like that they're adding in these in. The expiring server, so you know you can get started, but you know you have to move. But because of that, it gives a little bit more competition instead of just having someone lock down that server, because there's no point in the long run. It gives you an opportunity to build. So I do like that they added those. Then their like typical yearly anniversary picture that they do, kind of fun. Premium mod spotlight, pretty cool. You can see this the bonus race. Community corner, there's Ross Clark, and then obviously you've got Kitty Cat LaPreur, got some cool content as well. And then the always my favorite to look through the fan art. If you get a chance, some of the coolest fan art I've ever seen comes from this game. I mean, some of these people are so talented. Like this one's such a cool design. The bulldog being chased by a Ravager. It's just fun. Some of these are super cool. So yeah, I mean, if you ever get a chance, like this image is one of my favorites. I don't know who took this, Flamekeeper 2224. That is dope, man. That is a really cool image. I don't know why I like it so much. I just do. Yeah, and that's all of it. So hopefully that's something. I mean, honestly, it's really good and really bad news. So I hope you understand what I meant when I started this. I think that Ark, I don't know whether I want to say it's going in the right or wrong direction, because it's going in the right direction because they're releasing more content, but it's also going in the wrong direction because it's like, what we really want to see is Ark 2. That new game, the new everything. And we're just not getting anything. We know it's done. It's ready to be released, but they haven't given us anything. Like, we don't know when it's going to be released, what they're actually changing, how they're changing it. In the dev interview for it, he literally says that the game is ready to be pushed out, but people don't have the graphics cards to do it, so we're not going to push it out. It's like, then like when Ark got released, it wasn't a Xbox or a PlayStation game. It was just a PC game. This was a long time ago, 2015. And when they basically pushed it out, it was just for PC. People loved it, and it was like just a very base game. You didn't have any of the tech, you didn't have any of the basic stuff. It was just fun to play with your dinosaurs and do that kind of stuff. People are okay with that. Like if you go back and strip this thing down to a bare bones game, people loved that. It's just once they added all these other things, they didn't really adjust them over time. And some interesting decisions were made, but it's not to be said. So I don't know if Ark is going in a good or a bad direction. I don't know. You'd have to tell me what you thought on that. Leave it in the comments, and I'll try and respond to as many of you guys as possible, like always. But anyways, if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, Teach. Out.